Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Money Mike, and for now, this is the podcast of wrestling because I'm going to be rebranding my channel with some new content, new shows, things like that. So stay tuned for all that coming up. But for now, this is a new podcast of wrestling because everyone has lost their damn mind on this Saturday. Now, here's the thing. We all know WWE has been releasing people for the last year. I mean, they've released people for years upon years. And everyone on Twitter is losing their damn mind. Holy moly. Look, Bray Wyatt, people are acting like this is the first time like they've released someone. Like, have y'all not been paying attention to like this past year? Um, People are basically they're outraged. They're sending all these tweets. They're sending out all these tweets to Alexa Bliss, blaming her, and that's kind of part of why I'm making this because I really wasn't going to touch on it, but I was just kind of just disappointed with the wrestling community. I know Twitter does not represent all of the wrestling community, but Twitter does represent that little bit of the wrestling community that you just hate. Those that give wrestling fans a bad name, especially when they start going after and attacking someone who probably has nothing to do with his release. It's not. People are just like Alexa Bliss had to lock her Twitter account because of this. Now I don't know what. I mean, like I was scrolling through the tweets and it was people were blaming her for stealing Bray Wyatt's gimmick, and she's the reason he was released, and like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, why? To me, yes, WWE dropped the ball on the Fiend. They dropped the ball on Bray Wyatt. Everyone can agree on that. All right. I think even I think every superstar who works in WWE right now, everyone in other promotions who would agree that they dropped the ball. But man, it is toxic. It's a toxic. Ugh, I can't even say it. Toxic community there on Twitter. I'm just really disappointed because, like, to me, Alexa has nothing to do with it, and the people are attacking her for no reason whatsoever. Like it was weird to me, like a couple weeks ago, when I read something about when Jim Ross at the end of, AEW Dynamite, he messed up. He said WWE Dynamite, and hint hint Vince, hint hint JR's giving you a hint. But at the end of AEW Dynamite, he said WWE Dynamite, and apparently fans were sending him death threats on Twitter or something. And I don't know if that was overblown, but I'm like, but y'all give us good wrestling fans a bad name. Y'all need to stop. Alright? I don't want to make this into like a leave Alexa alone thing or whatever, but like holy moly, people, you all need to stop taking the dirt sheets like a freaking gospel choir here. Holy, like it came out that it was budget reasons. I mean, at that point, can WWE really say that releases budget are budget reasons when you just brought back Goldberg and you just brought back John Cena? There's reports of The Rock, who you're going to have to pay millions to, who may come in and do a match with Roman Reigns to find out who truly is the head of the table in the Samoan Dynasty family. And I mean, at what point does the budget cuts actually start becoming just an excuse? Look, I don't know what goes on. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm just a guy sitting in my house just talking into a camera. I have no idea how or what happens behind the scenes, or what this Nick Khan fella, who seems to be hated now, or starting to be hated by everybody, by the fans. But like, essentially, every company does it. Every company at some point releases people because they have to make budget cuts. Like we saw this basically all last year, where they're not making money because pandemic shut everything down. You kind of have to make budget cuts, and but it's one of those things to me where I'm sitting here and going, nobody really knows why or what happened, what led up to the release, and I just want people to stop pretending like they know the day-to-day operations, just based off of whatever some dirt sheet tweets out and says, oh, this is the reason. I mean, the budget cuts, we get that. Every like I said, every company makes budget cuts at some point, and they release people for that very, very reason. WWE is not the first company to do it, or the first wrestling company to do this. It's bad to release people in the middle of a pandemic. Everybody can agree to that. Especially when you start locking people up because of incoming competition, which I guess Vince doesn't consider AEW competition. If you base off of a recent, I think, media call or stockholder call, whatever shareholders call, But when they started locking everybody up, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit, and then all of a sudden the people that were signing these 5-year deals, they really weren't 5-year deals anymore, right? So yeah, I think it's a little bit of an overreaction. I know people are going to jump immediately and be like, oh, he's going to go to AEW. He's going to go to AEW, blah, blah, blah. Braun Strowman sent out a tweet. He sent out a tweet saying, hey, I think he sent out a tweet about some kind of cryptic tweet, but the on the bottom it says hashtag family reunion. That would be an interesting. It would be, I will say this, because it will be very interesting. The one thing I do agree about, the one thing that I have seen that I do agree about with this whole entire situation is, yes, like I said, we've seen WWE drop the ball with characters, gimmicks, superstars, yada, yada, yada. And everyone says, oh, I would love to see this person outside of the WWE bubble, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it would be very, very compelling TV to see Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family. I'm not sure how copyrights are going to work. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to be the Fiend, or anything like that. I've seen people say that he should take over as the leader of the Dark Order, but like, but essentially it's like, okay, I lost my train of thought. But one of the things here is is Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, whatever he's going to be called, whatever he can be called legally outside of WWE, as I'm sure they have the trademarks, is it's going to be interesting because a lot of the Fiend, the Bray Wyatt character of the Funhouse, has been his ideas, um, and now you take Bray Wyatt, who came up with this creative, unique character of the Fiend. You take that creativity, you take that out of the WWE bubble, and you go to someone. You go to AEW, you go to Impact, even New Japan, like that. Like, you go somewhere where he has more creative freedom to do what he wants to do and make the Fiend even better than what he was allowed to do in WWE. Again, I don't know if there was some differences in creative that led up to this. I know there was reports about his mental health, which I hope that he does get the help he needs, if that is part of his issues and part of everything that kind of led up to it. Because it was being reported that essentially he hadn't been the same since the death of Brody Lee, and so I just hope he does get the help that he needs for the sake of his mental health. But so because of that, I do think maybe there's a chance he maybe steps away from wrestling for a little bit. I've seen people compare this to Kurt Angle in 2006, where Kurt Angle was dealing with some I think he was dealing with some drug issues and whatever it was that led to his release in 2006. And essentially, they released him to help him to go help so he can fix his problems, go to rehab, stuff like that. So hopefully, maybe this is one of those things where he can go and get help and then be welcomed back into the WWE like Zelina Vega was. But it is just so frustrating as a fan to sit there and see like someone like Alexa get attacked on Twitter because over all this. That's part of why I made this video, because it just upsets me as a fan. Because these are people playing characters. Like, it's Alexa has nothing to do with she's not the one going to Nick Khan saying release Bray Wyatt. She's not the one going to creative saying, hey, I want to steal Bray Wyatt's gimmick. Like, every freaking person on Twitter and the internet's was blaming her and saying how she stole his gimmick. And Mickie James, and I like Mickie James as a wrestler. Mickie James should have been treated better in WWE. Let me get that off my chest first. Because, yes, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, the trash bag. Yeah, that's disrespectful for everything that Mickie James has done for WWE. She kind of fanned the flames. Like, she says it's not about Alexa But like she made this sarcastic little tweet about where just WWE tweeted this out about how he was be released, and I'm gonna show it here. But like when she says like you gave his gimmick to someone else, and like literally when she's saying like stuff like this, that's only gonna fan the flames with the fans. Like the fans are already saying, or maybe that's where it started. I don't know. Maybe that's where it started, but like everyone was already saying like Alexa stole his gimmick, and Mickey's implying, she's basically implying that the gimmick was that Alexa stole the gimmick, and I mean I know she doesn't mean it like that, but like it's sort of implied if you kind of catch my drift. But I don't want to make this video too much longer or too long, but basically y'all just need to calm the hell down, alright? Right now there's a lot more important things in life to worry about than Bray Wyatt getting released in WWE. Right now we're at a point right now where right now it might be smart to start questioning SummerSlam in Vegas. I mean, I'm going to SummerSlam in Vegas. At least that's what my hope is. But, I mean, there's a way more important things to worry about than Bray Wyatt being released. There's a lot more things to worry about than Alexa Bliss, than attacking Alexa Bliss, accusing her of stealing a gimmick. So just please, y'all just need to stop. Y'all just you give us good wrestling fans a bad name, and look, at the end of the day, whatever Bray Wyatt decides to do, I hope he succeeds wherever he goes, be that whether it's in AEW, New Japan, Impact. But again, just like CM Punk said 10 years ago, he's just another spoke on the wheel. Bray Wyatt is also another spoke of the wheel. That wheel is going to keep turning with or without Bray Wyatt. So yeah. Let's just everyone take a deep breath. Everyone take a deep breath and realize that take a deep breath, step away from Twitter, and go do something that doesn't involve raging over the internet. I've been your host, Money Mike. This has been the podcast of wrestling. For how long, I don't know. I'll be rebranding my channel in the coming weeks, but I just wanted to make this video on Bray Wyatt because of everything that's been going on, the reaction. So comment below what you think of Bray Wyatt being released, and I'll see y'all later when in a couple weeks when I rebrand my channel.